phone, could you please put it on silent or vibrate? We would appreciate you doing that. We always start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we would ask you to remain standing for a moment of silence. I would ask that we earlier in the week lost a gentleman in the community who was a real public servant. Attorney Dick Flannery passed away over the weekend. Many years ago, Dick served on Newcastle City Council and was also very active in many community and governmental and political activities throughout his life. He was a good man. So if you could keep his family in your thoughts. But we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance and have a moment of silence. And Tammy, would you be kind enough to lead us in the pledge?
Sure.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. We'll have a moment of silence. Thank you, everybody. Vanessa, could you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Steelvogel? Here. Commissioner Burek?
Present.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here. We have our quorum. It allows us to continue with our meeting. We, during the course of our meeting, always have time for public comment, both in a few moments and then before we adjourn. We ask if you have comments that they be related to county government matters. If it's a state matter, we refer you to your state legislators. If it's a federal matter, your congressman or U.S. senator. If it's a local city, borough, or township matter, we suggest you talk to those folks. But if it's county related, as we always say, you've come to the right place. We do ask that you try to limit your time to about 5 minutes. And you're welcome to speak at both public comment periods, one of the two if you wish, or if you're just here to observe, that's equally fine. Next on, and I trust that everybody get an agenda. Okay, good, thank you. Next on our agenda, we always set aside time for row officer reports and comments. We're honored to have our register and recorder, Tammy Crawford, with us. And I know, Tammy, you have something later in the meeting, but anything beyond that you'd like to share with us?
No.
Thank you. We're glad you're with us.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So the next item on the agenda would be public comment. If you do have a comment or question, we'll welcome it. Just ask that you, for the record, state your name and sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Wilbur Myers. And I just have a question. The question is, how is it that the county has the jurisdiction to address federal grant money that was set aside for transportation? Because I'm having a problem with my payment. And my understanding is that it had to go through you guys to be voted on and re-voted because it was put in the wrong account. And I have not been paid. So can you explain to me how a federal grant that was provided to the VA is being dispersed by the county and how it could end up in another county agency's account that was set aside for transportation, which is me, and I have to wait for you to re-vote to give me my money. I'm confused about that. Can you help me understand that process on how that works? Like, okay, so the grant money was provided to the VA for transportation. I provide transportation services to the VA. I submit my invoices, but the county pays me. So explain to me how their grant money ended up in LCAP's account, and then you guys had to re-vote for me to get paid.
And do either of you know more about this than I do, that you'd care to comment before I do? Because when I heard you say LCAP, Lawrence County Community Action Partnership, as you know, they're based out on Grant Street.
Oh, I know, but I used to work. I used to be one of their suppliers. Mm-hmm. So I do have, my name is in their payroll.
Okay. And of course, they're not a county agency. They are independent from the county commissioners. They're not county employees there.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But when I heard you say the VA, the Veterans Administration.
Right.
Have you, by chance, have you had an opportunity to talk to our director?
Yeah, I have. I have. And that's where I'm confused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because supposedly, I'm still waiting to get paid, and supposedly that money went in the wrong account. And so I'm just trying to get some clarity because I just want to be paid.
May I?
Of course.
So, did you sign a contract with LCAP to do this service?
Before, yes.
Okay, so maybe that's where a beginning, I mean, I think we can volunteer to help get through all of the.
Right, and that's all I'm asking. You know what I mean? Like
I would need that contract.
well,
Because apparently on the contract, there has to be some type of a number. If we got money for it, and then maybe what you're saying is for veterans, for transportation, we might have given that contract for LCAP to handle. And what I'm hearing you say is somewhere along the line, monies were deposited into the wrong account. So if we can help get through that red tape and make that sideways road a straight line, I think we can help you with that. But we need more specific other than I have a contract and the money went somewhere and now I'm not getting paid.
Well,
So more specifics if you can help us.
let me clarify.
Go ahead.
I had a contract with LCAP that ended June 30th.
Okay.
Okay. I started servicing the Veterans Association in July.
Okay.
Okay. So I have been doing my part, but I have, for whatever my understanding is, that contract ended. So I personally shredded my information because it's no longer valid for me.
Okay.
So that's where I'm confused. If that contract, they haven't done anything with me since November of last year. So when the contract was until June 30th, that contract ended. So I have nothing to do with them anymore from that point going forward. I've been just dealing with the VA. Okay. So
The VA in Butler?
the VA right here next door to
Our veterans office.
Veterans
Okay.
office right here with
Okay, that's
Jesse.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's where we have to be more specific.
Yeah.
So our veterans office told you to start transporting veterans.
Right. That was the agreement. Back to the paper back in July. You know, this big article right here. This is me.
Okay,
And it says right in here that there was funds that I helped them get for
okay,
transportation purposes. And those funds should have been available for me to get paid. So I haven't been paid for the transportation services I provided. And like it's been, you know, let's say that the first one was in July. There have been like 3 since then, but I still haven't been paid. And it's my understanding that that money comes through the county because the county is the one that disperses it because this is a county office, I presume, even though it's federal funding. That's where I'm confused. If they,
it
okay.
happens like that all the time.
Okay, well, that's, you know, I'm asking for clarity.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking the federal's up
Yeah.
here, you got the state, then you got the county, then you got the city. So why are you guys playing with their money?
We play with their money all the time.
Okay, well, then can you play with their money and put it in my bank account? That's all I care about.
We
You know what I'm saying?
You know where your contract's at.
Well,
That's it.
well, the understanding
Can
is,
I see the article? Can I see that?
Oh.
Maybe it says something in there.
oh, this is the article from June.
That's okay.
July.
It'll say where you got the money from.
Yeah,
That's what I mean about helping streamline it. Absolutely. You deserve
You
to be
might
paid
wanna
for
look
doing your
into-
service.
You might want to look into the small article because the big one will just blow your mind, you know what I mean? Brian will tell you I'm not easy to deal with.
Oh, I think you are.
Loretta too.
I think you are, sir. I think.
Then how come people don't want to deal with me? I'm confused. I started something in this city that nobody else had the desire to do with my own money. And I can't get no help from outside agency. I'm confused about that. And I've never asked anybody for money. All I've asked is for your business.
When did you last speak to Jesse Putnam?
Right.
She's on vacation this week. I thought, I'd have to pull it up on my phone. Hold on. Because it was via text. Via email. Y'all been servicing this though?
It's a little spotty down here.
Okay, well, I'm gonna see if I can pull
Well, it
it
says
up.
here, the Lawrence County Veterans Affairs Office also has received a grant of $10,000 from the Veterans Trust Fund to provide rides for veterans needing to get to appointments. So I think that's what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Which maybe is separate from LCAP because they're both in the same article.
I recall a few months ago, both Vanessa Lutton from LCAP and Jesse Putnam from our Veterans Office were here, and we approved a resolution to use this money So we just have to, we'll check and find out
Okay,
where the problem
Yes.
is.
Well,
as far
I'm-
as the disbursement.
I'm going via, like I said, I got the email, via email. This was like 7 days ago. I sent her an email and says, good evening. Yes, but unfortunately there was a mix up with the grant payment. The controller's office had to redo the purchase order I have opened, and the commissioner had to re-vote on it. That was just done last week. So that was 7 days ago. So we're talking 7 days ago and I still haven't gotten
Well,
paid.
here's something I think we can do. If you're able to wait until our meeting ends.
Well, you know, I have a business to run.
Okay. We can check with the controller's office. If you could leave us if you have to leave,
Oh, I got business cards. I come in here prepared.
if you can give us.
Loretta has my
I
telephone
have,
number.
that's why I volunteered to maybe work through this
Yeah,
red
because
tape.
she knows me. I've done
Yeah.
services with her.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm on, like
So
I'm,
you'll check with
Is
the
that
controller's
okay? I mean,
office?
if you guys
No,
don't mind,
you're welcome.
all right, then give me a
I'll
call.
see what I can do for you, absolutely. I
Okay,
know
that's the only reason why, because I'm like, you
Absolutely.
guys cleared it up when you said y'all play with federal money all the time. I'm
Yes.
like, I'm sure glad y'all ain't playing with my money, but you are. Because if you guys had to re-vote over a week ago and I haven't gotten paid, there's a glitch somewhere.
Dan,
Yes.
we did do a budget amendment on September 19th for a veterans office for 10,000.
Okay,
So
on the 19th of September.
Yeah, we're in October now.
You'll check with the
I will,
controller's
yes.
office? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, can I leave now? Oh.
Okay, now get out of here. Now go.
Leave us your business card, Doc.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes.
That has my business number. It doesn't have my personal. Loretta has my personal
I
number.
do, Doc, I promise you, we'll get to the bottom of this.
Oh, well, I appreciate it because
Yes, no.
I'm a small cat. I'm not.
I understand that, I know.
I'm only trying to
I know.
maintain what I can to help this
Absolutely.
community, and that's what I started the business for.
I've
So-
called him in an emergency situation
Yeah.
that someone needs transportation and he is
I'll
obliged.
show
So
up.
I understand the service you provide, yes.
Okay, all right. So who do I get a business card to?
Vanessa will take it.
I
Yes.
can actually take my girl to this funeral. I don't have to pay my other driver.
Let's see.
You guys, thank you very
All
much.
right,
I look forward to hearing from you guys.
Absolutely.
All this other
Bye.
stuff is Japanese for me, so I'll get back on it. Bye.
Any other public comment at this time? Hearing none, thank you. We have 7 repository property bids. Let me ask my colleague something. Would you be willing, out of courtesy and respect for Tammy's schedule, would you mind if we jump ahead and take care of Tammy's
Let's do
matter? Any objection to that?
No.
Okay. Now I don't want to put you out of order, Vanessa.
that's okay. Let me just figure out what number I can give you for her.
Okay, and then, you know what? I think they're back to back. Could we do
Spots as well.
spots as well?
Yes,
7.
I can't, then we won't have anybody in the audience.
So Spot will be 65, 365,
365,
and Tammy will be 366.
okay. Let's start with Tammy, if my colleagues don't object. All we're doing is moving down the agenda. Tammy, if you'd like to come forward,
Sure.
please. Thank you.
It'll just confuse me, I'll be
Tammy's,
confused the rest of the day, but as long as you're all right.
Tammy's proposal involves a
366, right?
contract agreement with Access Information Management of Wisconsin. This is for the, involves storage and retrieval of records, but I'll let you fill us in, please.
Okay, what the Register and Recorder's Office is requesting is, all of our records are stored at the mines. We do have everything scanned. However, occasionally there's an issue and we need to order a page from the mines. I would say probably around 3 times a month. Anytime we order from the mines, the cost for each retrieval is $66. Well, Access has a program called Access Unify, which is $79 per month, and you are allowed 3 document retrievals a month. If you don't use 3 one month, then they can carry over until the next month. And it's $79 a month, which would be a savings of around $1,536 a year. So.
Does this mean then that you'll no longer utilize anything? And by the way, when you say the mines, the Wampum mine storage, right?
Yes, yes.
Does this mean that you'll no longer deal with anything down there, or you'll do both?
No, this is just for retrieval, not for storage.
I see.
And yes, we will continue to deal with them. This is just a program that they offer for retrieval.
I see. Okay, and you're recommending that we can approve it.
I mean, I think it would be a good thing. It's a savings. So.
Thank you. I'll see if Loretta has any questions.
We always like a savings. Thank you.
Commissioner Buick?
I'm just looking for an explanation, please, just help me understand. So right now, when you have a retrieval, it's a paper document.
They scan them and send them to us electronically.
Okay, so that was my next question. Are these documents already scanned electronically? So this company would physically go there, scan them, and then send it to you?
It's still Access. It's just a program they offer called Unify. And it's still the same people who are going to retrieve the records. It's just they kind of like offer this at a lower rate so you don't get hit every time you order a record.
But currently, we pay this company, or we're paying the mines directly to retrieve it? The mine staff retrieves it and scans it to you?
It's called Access now. The mines are now Access.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's the same company.
It is,
We're just buying a service
yes,
that's actually cheaper than the way they're doing it now.
yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I understand, and I'll support the resolution. Thank you for looking at this into this option.
Yeah, I would concur. Appreciate you bringing it to our attention. And would one of the commissioners wish to make a motion for Resolution 366?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you both. Any other comments or questions? We'll do a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Buick,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
I
Tammy?
apologize. I thought they were two separate companies.
No, it's okay.
It's now owned by a company based in Wisconsin.
It is,
Okay.
yeah. It's called
That
Access.
place has changed
Ownerships,
names
yeah.
quite
Yeah,
frequently.
it
A
has.
lot of name changes. I'm surprised you're able to keep track, but good. You are certainly welcome to
Thank
stay,
you.
but if you have to head back up, we understand.
I'm gonna head back up, but thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy.
Good
Take
day.
care. And then, Scott, if you'd like to come forward, we can take care of your issue. You have proposed Resolution 365. This would have the county enter into an agreement with Mercy Life Center Corporation. Can you give us a little bit of background on this, please?
Sure. This is a facility in Allegheny County that provides long-term residential services to one of our former Bayview State Hospital residents. This individual's been here since Mr. Vanasco was in my role. So this was a contract that they just didn't get back to us in time. This provides long-term services for a Lawrence County individual that lives down there. So yeah, we were looking at a contract between Lawrence County MHDS and Mercy. This would run from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024, and the contract amount will not exceed $75,000. All paid out of block grant funding, cost of.
And I neglected, forgive me at the outset, to note for the record that the gentleman speaking to us is Scott Baldwin, who is our Director of Mental Health and Developmental Services Office. And, Scott, I appreciate you taking the time to present this to us. Mr. Buick, any questions for Mr. Baldwin?
No, thank you.
Loretta, any?
None.
No? Okay, I could take a motion then for this resolution, 365.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. If there are no other questions, we can do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Buick,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. As we said to Tammy, Scott, if you need to get back, we understand, but you're welcome to stick around, whichever you prefer.
Well, I'll see you guys. Well, yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Have a great day, Scott. Thank you both for allowing us to
Yeah, good thinking on you.
amend the agenda a little bit
Sure.
to accommodate our two friends. Well, we'll get back to fiscal and contractual. We do have 7 bids from the tax claim office for some properties that are in the repository. I'll walk us through them. If you would like, we can take them as a group, but stop me if I start going too quickly. But I do need to enter them into the record. And what will our first number be, Vanessa?
358.
358, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is for a parcel in Shenango Township on Ruth Street. Parcel number 311991100. The bid has been made by Kimberly and Bruce Peterson in the amount of $500, and this bid has been accepted by both the Shenango Township Supervisors and the Shenango Area School Board. Any questions?
No.
Thank you. We'll go on to number 359. This is also in Shenango Township. It's parcel number 31-199000. It is a $500 bid from Kimberly and Bruce Peterson for property on Ruth Street. This has been approved by the Shenango Township Supervisors and the Shenango Area School Board of Directors. Any questions? Thank you. Resolution 360, proposed resolution 360. A bid of $500 by Kimberly and Bruce Peterson for a parcel in Shenango Township on Harvey Street, parcel number 31-199200. This has been accepted by both the Shenango Township Supervisors and the Shenango Area School Board. Any questions? Hearing none. Thank you. Proposed resolution 361. Again, Shenango Township, $500. The bidders are Kimberly and Bruce Peterson for a parcel on Harvey Street, parcel number 31-198900. And again, it has been given approval by both the Township of Shenango and the School Board in the Shenango School District. Any questions? Next would be proposed resolution 362. Also in Shenango Township, parcel number 31-199400 on Harvey Street. It is a $500 bid made by Kimberly and Bruce Peterson. This has been accepted by the Shenango Township Supervisors, Shenango Area School District. Any questions? Hearing none. We now move, the final two are in Mahoning Township. This would be proposed resolution 363. The parcel number is 24-028800. It is a $501 bid made by MTG and HBM LLC. And the property location is known as the Green Plot, Greene. I'm going to assume that IDE stands for the Independent District of Edinburgh. Now, as you may know, Mahoning Township, part of the folks are in the Mohawk School District. There is a part of that township that students go to the Union School District, and that's referred to as the Independent District of Edinburgh. That's my assumption, that IDE stands for that. I hope I'm right. This bid has been approved and accepted by the Mahoning Township Supervisors and the Mohawk. Well, I may have just made an error. This says, this may be the Union School District. Nancy Solderich, Business Manager, Board Secretary. Doesn't say whether it's the Union or the Mohawk. I'm going to make the assumption that it's the Union Area School District.
Okay.
Are you both comfortable with that? The business manager, board secretary from the school district has signed it, but it doesn't indicate whether it's Mohawk or Union. Can we operate under the assumption that it is Union? So that's the proposed resolution 363. And then finally, proposed resolution 3.
Amy said it's
Mohawk.
Is it Mohawk?
Yeah, and the reason is because I know the secretary, Nancy Solderich, and she's Mohawk. Sorry.
So maybe I was mistaken when I said IDE is Independent District of Edinburgh. That might be my error.
I just know Nancy, and I know
And
she's
she's Mohawk. Okay, that's fine. Thanks, Amy.
We're glad you're watching.
Very helpful. So, okay, thank you. So it was the Mohawk Area School District. So I may have been mistaken when I said that IDE was Independent District of Edinburgh for this, so forgive me. Then proposed resolution 364. This is also in Mahoning Township. It's a $500 bid made by Katrina Allen for a parcel on 160 Westley Lane, parcel number 24-900625. The Mahoning Township Supervisors have accepted it, as has the Mohawk Area School District. Those are the repository bids. There were 7 of them. Would one of you care to make a motion to accept these bids?
So moved.
Second.
Questions, Mr. Burek?
No.
Thank you. Commissioner Spielvogel? Again, I hope I didn't muddy the waters by bringing them up.
They were all approved by the municipality and the
Absolutely.
school district, so.
Okay, very good, thank you. The motion is for all 7. We'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. We have a warrant register submitted to us by the Controller's Office dated September 26. Give you folks a minute or two to look them over. And at any point, I'd be happy to take a motion to accept the warrant register.
Also move as presented.
I will second.
Thank you both. Are there any questions regarding the warrant register?
No.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Mhm.
The minutes of the September 26th meeting are in our packet. Give you folks the time that you need to review them, and whenever you're ready, I can take a motion to adopt the minutes.
So moved.
I will second it with 2 very minor corrections.
Certainly.
Under commissioner reports, under my comments, there's a typo in the Veterans Fairweather Lodge. And also the second sentence where he commented on how it looks great and commends them. I'd like them to be replaced with Human Services Center, since they're the agency that fixed that building up. Correct the typo on veterans and replace the word them with Human Services Center.
Okay with that, Loretta?
Absolutely, sure.
Okay. So we do have, I believe, a motion on the table. It's been seconded with the amendatory language. If there are no other concerns, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. We have 3 documents that have been submitted to us within the last week that need to be entered into the record. The first is from the Hillcrest Group, environmental consultants out of Wexford, addressed to the Lawrence County Commissioners. It is a notice to us of a Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection Air Quality Plan Approval application. The company is known as RWE Holding Company, based in Taylor Township. This is to notify you that RWE Holding Company will be submitting to the Pennsylvania DEP an air quality plan approval application for their operation located off of Rumble Road in Taylor Township. By means of this application, RWE will be replacing the bag house in the dry bulk carbon loading operation. There are no other changes to the operation. Emissions will not change, and the plant will continue to be classified as a minor source of air pollution under both state and federal regulations. And this application has been submitted to DEP at its Meadville office. This letter is signed by Joseph Pezzi, environmental air consultant for the Hillcrest Group. Any questions?
No.
Thank you. The next document comes from RAR Engineering Group, based here in Newcastle, advising us of notification for Acts 14, 67, 68, and 127 on behalf of Keystone Compliance, LLC. I believe they're based in the city of Newcastle. And they're notifying us that on behalf of Keystone Compliance, that they are submitting these documents involving the clean water law for erosion and sediment control permits, as well as the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permits. And this is our notification from RAR on behalf of Keystone Compliance. Any questions?
No.
Thank you. And then the third and final document we received is from Gannett Fleming Company out of Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. This is providing us notification on behalf of the Pennsylvania American Water Company, their Newcastle water treatment plant. It is a residual solids handling improvement project, and the plant facility is located in Neshannock Township. They are giving us Acts 14, 67, 68, and 127 notification. PAWC, the water company, proposes to improve the residual solids handling facilities. Improvements will include the construction of a new solids dewatering building, demolitions of the existing dewatering system, relocation of the pump stations, and construction of a new backwash tank. Additionally, equipment and instrumentation within existing filters number 1 through 4 will also be rehabilitated, as these appurtenances have reached the end of their useful life. The proposed solids dewatering building and the new backwash tank will be located within the existing fence around the WTP water treatment plant in an area that is currently mowed lawn and was recently disturbed in May of 2023. It's a lot of detail,
Yes.
but in fact, there's more, but I think in the interest of time, I'll conclude by saying that these documents are available if anybody wishes to look at them. So those are the 3 pieces of correspondence that we've received in terms of notification. Would someone care to make a motion to accept these letters?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Now, Brian, any comments or concerns?
No.
Loretta?
No.
Okay, we'll do a roll call to accept them.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Commissioner reports and comments. Looks like I get to go first today, and then Loretta, then Brian. So I may steal a little bit of your thunder, and don't mean to offend you. Maybe you can give us more details. But I appreciate, Commissioner Burek, when he came on board, I think has done a good thing by letting folks know what we've been up to in terms of our work responsibilities as commissioners. We've had a busy week. Last Wednesday, the 3 of us attended the Beaver Lawrence Farm Bureau dinner, which was held down in New Galilee Borough. Last Thursday, we attended the Cray open house for their facility in Neshannock Township. And then we all attended the salute to Pastor David Young that was held out at the villa in Shenango Township. We had a productive meeting on Friday with the district representative for U.S. Senator Fetterman. That was held at the city building, and we thank Christopher Fry and the members of Newcastle City Council for inviting us to participate in that. We attended an open house of a company that has opened a facility on Frew Mill Road in Shenango Township, Gemini Enterprises. On Saturday, we attended, well, I'll let Brian talk about something he attended on Saturday on our behalf. And then Loretta and I were able to attend the Scott Township Fire Department's open house as they received their new fire truck.
Right.
And then yesterday, the 3 of us traveled to Armstrong County for the Northwest County Commissioners Association's quarterly meeting that was held there. So we had an opportunity to interact with county commissioners from the Northwest region and heard from representatives from the governor's office. So we've had a busy week, and I think it was a very productive week.
Yes.
So thank you for allowing me to share that. And again, my colleagues will probably offer some details, which I hope they do. Loretta, you're next.
Just very few details other than it's good to know that the county is opening up, has been opening up, events are happening. There are different activities going on, and we've had, I'm proud to say, several small businesses opening over the last couple of weeks, the last months, within the last year or so. It's good to know that Lawrence County is open for business, and we are continuing to do that. So, yes, when you say it like that, I sit here and think, we did all of those things, along with the regularly scheduled work of the Lawrence County Commissioners. So thank you for pointing this out, Dan. That's all I have.
Thanks, Loretta, very much. Commissioner Burek.
Thank you, Commissioner Vogler. You covered many of the things I wanted to mention. I'll just mention one additional business grand opening I attended on behalf of the board. Molinero's Fuel Bar opened a new business up in the Shanty Township on Highland Avenue. And it was great to see another business, two new businesses in the last week had their grand opening ribbon cutting. So congratulations to both of them, and we thank them for their investment in Lawrence County and wish them both well. One additional thing I did last week, I took opportunity of the great weather. I went out to McConnell's Mill State Park, one of the great jewels of Lawrence County, and did an extensive hike, and it was beautiful. And I encourage all of our residents and visitors from our region to come over the next several weeks, especially as the leaves continue to change color, to take in the beauty and the wonder of McConnell's Mill State Park, amazing place. Just one last thing, I want to take a minute to pay tribute to an individual who I admire greatly. A Newcastle woman named Jean Rogan passed away last week. She was actually the First Lady of Newcastle twice. First, when her husband, Francis Rogan, was mayor of Newcastle several decades back. And then later she was voted First Lady of Newcastle based on her charitable work she did in the community. I especially admired and appreciated. She was the founder of the Newcastle chapter of a group called People Concerned for the Unborn Child. And she led the March for Life bus from Lawrence County to Washington, D.C. for several decades. And the work of that group that she started has helped many women in Lawrence County who are facing unplanned or difficult pregnancies. And her group has helped save many lives of children that may have otherwise been aborted. So she was a personal hero of mine, and I wanted to, and a great public figure in Lawrence County. So I wanted to mention her passing and extend my condolences to her family. Those are my comments.
I thank you. And Mrs. Rogan was a fine woman from a fine family. So thank you so much for noting that. Okay. We'll move on to new resolutions, and we'll note that we have given approval to resolutions 365 and 366. So that takes us to proposed resolution 367 and 368. They go hand in hand with one another. You may recall that back on July 9, we had very heavy rainfall in both Wayne Township and Shenango Township that caused flash flooding in those two municipalities and significant damage throughout both of those townships. We received letters of request from both townships asking for some assistance in their restoration efforts as a result of that damage. We asked our public safety director to look into whether or not the Commonwealth or the federal government might be able to assist both Wayne and Shenango with some of the expenses that they incurred. Unfortunately, the answer that we received back was that the damages did not meet the state or federal threshold in order for public assistance dollars to be released. The requests from the two townships are as follows. Wayne Township has asked for, Wayne Township has estimated, their engineers have estimated that the damages totaled $37,630. The Shenango Township engineers have estimated that their damages from the flooding amounted to $69,871.95. Coupled with that, for Shenango Township, and separate from what we're going to be voting on, a bridge that is owned by the township on Snake Run Road, near the intersection of Union Valley Road, received significant damage as a result of this flooding. The supervisors from Shenango have submitted a separate request asking for assistance in repairs to that bridge. And we will be addressing that request at a future meeting. But getting back to the two requests that we have received, what we have determined it would be in the best interest of us to assist them. And what we are proposing is that the county utilize liquid fuel dollars, as these are both emergencies, and that we've agreed to a figure of assisting them to the tune of a third of what they have requested. So consequently, Resolution 367 for Wayne Township, the amount that the county would allocate to assist them would be $11,290. For Shenango Township, the 33 1/3% calculates out to $20,964. So these are two resolutions. And Debbie, I have these they're spelled out here, so we'll have these for you. But there are 367 and 368 are the resolution numbers. If you'd like further discussion, we do have someone who wishes to make a motion.
Also move for the adoption of resolutions 367 and 368 to assist Wayne and Shenango townships with the storm damage.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
I will second.
Thank you, ma'am. Do you have any questions or comments?
No.
Thank you, Mr. Garrett.
Just one brief additional comment. You explained it well, but the resolutions are written that the money can come from liquid fuels and or from the local use fund. That way we have flexibility going forward if we need to adjust which pot. Both of those pots of money are available for road and repairs. And just want to make sure that we can use flexibility there.
Yeah, it's very well worth noting. It is unfortunate that we weren't able to secure funding from higher levels, but we certainly want to help our local municipalities, in this instance, both Wayne and Shenango townships. So we have a motion on the floor. And by the way, Debbie, actually, the letter of request from Shenango is attached. I thought we had Wayne's, but Debbie or Vanessa can get that for you. And as I mentioned, we have a second request from Shenango that we'll consider it in the relatively near future to help them with their bridge. But we have a motion on the floor that's been seconded for these two resolutions, 367 and 368. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. The next item, which would be proposed resolution 369. We are looking at a budget amendment, and this pertains to the Adult Probation Office. They are carrying forward their prior year balance under the line item of APO, Adult Probation Administrative line item of $60,000, and then they are applying that to their expense line item of APO administrative expenses. But I have a motion which will allow them to do this.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. I neglected to mention they're utilizing these dollars for the purchase of tasers in their office. Any discussion? Loretta?
No.
Brian?
No.
Thank you. We have a motion and seconded. We'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Next resolution, 370, is a transfer request coming from the planning office. And we had a couple issues out on the Stavich Bike Trail out in Union and Mahoning Townships that required some unanticipated expenditures, including the repairing of a washout during one of our heavy rains. And then apparently there was an issue where we had to do some beam removal. So the request is for a transfer of $10,182.50 to cover these expenses. It's coming from the Commissioner's contingency into the planning office grants and programs. Could I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Brian, any concerns?
No.
Thank you. Loretta?
No.
Okay, we'll do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Steelvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Buick?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 371, a transfer request which would utilize $10,000 from the Commissioner's contingency And the courts have requested this. This would go to their court-appointed attorneys line item. This is to pay for invoices for these court-appointed attorneys. This is proposed resolution 371. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Loretta, any questions? Mr. Burek?
No.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Buick,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Then the following transfer requests, I'll read through them. Stop me along the way if you have any questions. And then if you're willing, we could take them as a group. The Public Defender's Office is asking for a $200 transfer from their contingency into attorney fees. That's the first request. The Juvenile Probation Office is asking for a $1,000 transfer from their contingency to that of their vehicle line item. One of their vehicles needed some work to be done on it, so that's a $1,000 transfer request. Under the Commissioners, we're asking for a $7,175 transfer from the Commissioners' contingency into that of maintenance and repairs for a flooring expense. Also, under the Commissioners, we're asking for a $300 transfer from the Commissioners' contingency into that of the cable line item. It's a $300 request. And the Voters Office is asking for a $7,000 transfer request from their line item of the Election Integrity Grant, which came to us from the Commonwealth. And that will be utilized to the account of postage, $7,000 transfer. And then finally, Adult Probation Office is asking for a $510 transfer from their contingency into that of vehicle expense. Evidently, one of their vehicles had a need for some repairs. Those are the requests we've received. Do either of you have any concerns about them?
No.
Then would one of you wish to make a motion to approve them?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you both. Comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Buick,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes?
motion carries.
Thank you very much. I'll move down to announcements. We will meet again a week from today, October 10, 2023 at 10 a.m. in this room. It's open to the public. Loretta, I assume this is the case that the Lawrence County Opioid Board meeting is canceled.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay, thank you. Gotcha. Yep, thank you. Next Wednesday, October 11 at noon, the Lawrence County Planning Commission will hold its monthly meeting at the Washington Township Municipal Building, which is located on George Washington Road out in Washington Township. And, finally, I do want to note that on Monday of next week, October 9, I believe, is Columbus Day, and we will be closed in observance of that holiday. The courthouse will not be open next Monday. Public comment. Debbie, you're our public. We had a few folks here, but they all headed
I
out.
just apologize for being late. I was out at Ag Encounter at the Fed.
That's right. They have a nice day,
That's
nice
right.
weather.
Yes.
Those are fourth graders?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that runs today and tomorrow.
tomorrow.
I plan to go out tomorrow.
Yes.
Any questions? I have your packet for you. Thank you. Closing comments from my fellow commissioners. Commissioner Spielvogel.
Nothing. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Burek.
Just one additional announcement. Next Tuesday, October 10th, we have our quarterly meeting of the West Central Job Partnership Board meeting with the Mercer County Commissioners. It's a public meeting, but it'll be held up at the Mercer County Courthouse. The other thing I wanted to mention, I just read a few articles, and I'm sure we'll be hearing more about this, but one of the transfers was for election postage. You may have read the governor of Pennsylvania issued an executive order last week changing the voter registration through the PennDOT and public assistance offices before, you were given the option under the old motor voter law to opt in to register to vote. Now they each changed it by executive order that you'll automatically be enrolled in voter registration unless you specifically choose to opt out. And so people were wondering what the impact will be. I read several articles in places where they've done this. It's actually increased the voter registration rolls by about 3% on average. So we may get more registered voters. There'll be more, and of course our county elections office will be notified as additional people are registered to vote that way. The sad part of that is in the states where they've done this, even though the voter registration rolls have increased, voter turnout has not increased. So that's my only concern with that. You know, I'm currently the chairman of the county election board, and we would hope and like to see every eligible citizen 18 years of age and older registered to vote. But for every registered voter, we have to have a plan in case everybody showed up to vote on election day. We order the ballots and we staff all the polls. But as we know, voter turnout is historically low. So I just thought it was interesting. We'll wait to see what impact it'll have. But in other states, it has actually increased the number of people registered to vote. I would just encourage more people everybody that's registered to vote in the upcoming general election, November 7th. This is a non-presidential election year, but we have statewide judge races, we have county races, we have municipal races, we have school board races. And to me, elections are all important, and the ones where we vote for our local elected officials at the school, municipal, and county level are critically important, and in fact, many times have more of a direct impact on people's daily lives and on their property tax bill than state and national elections do. So I just wanted to mention that and keep everybody updated as far as how it impacts our voter registration office going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Burek. Appreciate it. Anything else?
Thank you.
Joe or Vanessa, have we missed anything to your knowledge? No. Well, we appreciate everybody joining us, and I would request an adjournment motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Good meeting.
Joe's going to turn off the computer.